This is Matchweek. You are joined by myself, Ardi and Besmir. We discuss everything soccer from the highs and the lows in the sporting week to the news that is relevant to you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
this is Match Week. Top of the hour, WMSC Upper Montclair. How are we doing today, folks? My name is Ardi and Besmir, and today I not only have one, but I have two guests joining with me today. The one, as per usual, I think you all know him by now, Besmir. Hi, Besmir. How are we doing?
Hi. How are you guys?
And then we also have a little newbie with us. We have our guy Dejan. Dejan, say what's up.
hello guys, how are you doing?
Now, for everybody listening right now, you thought you joined a podcast. Really, you joined two Albanians trapped in a room with one Serb. If I were you, I'd stop listening now. Serious stuff's about to happen. No, I'm just joking. Please, everyone stay on. Now, today, we have a few topics to be talking about here. We're going to be talking about Besmir's 5 rules that he was supposed to bring with him today from last week.
Yeah, sort of 5 rules, but okay.
Yep. And then we're also going to be talking about results that happened throughout the weekend, certain topics that are really affecting towards us, like the refereeing this weekend through multiple games was absolutely appalling. I don't know if you guys have been watching some of them, but it was bad.
Horrible.
And we're going to be going on in from there. So, Besmir, you start off with your 5 rules. Let me know what you're thinking.
All right, so where did we leave off last week? Last week we were talking about you going to, first of all, for those who are tuning in from last week, thanks for tuning back on. It's impressive to me that someone would actually decide to hear my voice again. That's a joke. My mom says I have a very nice voice for the radio. So we spoke last week about you going into this whole debacle. Yeah, there was this whole debacle with this other coach who just decided, hey, let's just change the rules to how they're supposed to be played today. Now, there's nothing more interesting than getting to a match and the other team, or sometimes even better yet, the ref decides, you know what, we're going to do what we want today. I do have a story that I think will be close to yours, but I think a little more enjoyable considering it was like high school age kids. Last season, we had a game up in Newburgh, New York. I want to say it's like a 45-minute drive from here at Montclair. And let me tell you, it was one of the most interesting matches of my life. Now, we get to the field. It is in an urban setting. There were some peculiar people kind of hovering around this park or in the stands. You know, no one dangerous, just very let's call them characters. They were characters.
Okay.
Now, we get to this park. We go to warm up on the field. And I'm just kind of like looking at the field. Now, they had taken an old football field and tried to convert it into a soccer field. Now, when I say tried, it's because it was a very narrow field because that's where the football lines had been, I guess, and they couldn't get a wider field. So, all right, I'm okay with the narrow field. Now, there wasn't a blade of grass on the entire pitch. It was dirt and dust.
That's nice.
And I'm pretty sure like gravel in some spots.
Wow.
You know, but it was horrific. Now, you could barely see the lines. The lines were pretty much non-existent for the boundaries. Now, you get to the nets, to the goals. It was more or less just bar posts. It wasn't really much of a goal. The net was maybe there, right? You know how you go to some games and the ref will be like, hey, can you zip tie or tape this part of the net because there's a little hole near the back bottom. The whole net was a hole.
You're sort of describing those like when you watch those TikToks, those kids doing like free kicks in like Africa and like they're in those like sand.
No,
fields.
I've seen those. This field was in worse shape, considering they tried to host a club level match for high school aged boys on this pitch. Now, that wasn't even the worst of it. I went and looked at the 6 and the 18 there really was no 6-yard box. And when it came to the 18, it measured 12 yards long instead of the 18. So technically speaking, if there was going to be a penalty on the day, it would have been at the top of the 18. Now, field long, narrow, dirt, dust. It's almost like it came right out of a movie. And now I get there, and we do our thing. We inspect the field. We ask the boys to stay off it before we start warm-ups. Need to do my duty as a coach, inspect the field, make sure it's safe enough for my kids to play on. And yeah, while it wasn't miserable condition, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't really wet. There was no sharp objects or anything. There was just no grass. It was a dirt field. Now, I approached the referee, and mind you, we get a referee crew who show up in the center referee was the most interesting of the bunch. He shows up in just a yellow shirt because he said, and I quote, "Yeah, I lost that other one last week, and I haven't picked up another one yet, so this'll do." So shows up in a yellow shirt and like basketball shorts. I did get him to confirm he was an actual referee, but a very unprofessional one. Ankle-length socks, and if anyone knows anything about soccer referees and officials...
Oh, this sounds like trouble.
They're all about their standards and their code, the referee's code. You always look like a professional when you step on the pitch.
We used to get yelled at if we wore the wrong gear of socks, dude.
Yeah, when they switched from the 3-stripe socks to the 2-striped at the bottom. That's not that it ever always stopped us, but like there's a super strict code when it comes to being a soccer referee. And like this guy, I'm like, "Hey, sir, are we going to do anything about the field? Is there..." Yeah, he looks at me and goes, "Yeah, that's fine too. I'm not the one playing." And I look at this guy like, "What are you talking about?" I go, "There's not... besides this being a flat field, there's nothing else that even mimics a soccer field." And he turns to me, he goes, "It's close enough." So we play this match. Now, mind you, we're a bit spoiled in that at the club when we do train on grass fields, they're nicer grass fields or they're all turf fields. My boys look at me and they go, "Coach, what on earth are we doing here?" And I said, "Well, we're going to attempt to play soccer." Now, kid Matt was playing with us. Matt, brilliant, like a black belt in Taekwondo or something crazy like that. Like I swear, if Matt Yee ever hears this kid's amazing. He's super smart. He's hilarious, and like when he's on the field, he'll die on the field for the team. Now, he comes off at the end of this game. We lose by a couple goals. I think it was like 3-1 or something like that. I was just happy my players survived the match. He comes off, and from all of the dust. Now, Matt Yee is a slightly darker complexion, but he wears goggles like the rec specs. Mm-hmm. Well, he used to. I'm not even sure if he does anymore. Wore the rec specs that day, comes off, and I swear, he comes off, takes off the rec specs, and around his eyes is just a complete different shade from the rest of his body. The rest of it is just covered in dirt and dust. And I look at him, he goes, "Yeah, coach," he goes, "Thank God I had these on." He goes, "Between the sweat and the dust," he goes, I think I'm like 7 shades darker now than I was at the beginning of this match. And at the end of the match, walk over to the coach, I'm like, "Hey, is this where you guys play?" He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It was either this or we play on the basketball courts down the street." I'm like, all right, so I guess this isn't too bad. But yeah, the referee just didn't care about the rules is the whole point of this story. We drove 45 minutes to essentially play in a dust bowl, and it was horrendous is a compliment. And the referee matched the field.
Yeah.
The referee matched the field. Now, Dejan, in case you weren't aware, last week I said I should have a list of rules, or we said I should have a list of rules that like I just hand to the other coach every time we walk into a match. Mm-hmm. Just kind of starts to change the rules of how soccer is supposed to be played. Right? If I'm not mistaken. It just gonna be some crazy rules. So I was thinking, what if we had 2 pug goals, like 2 small goals, by the corners? In training, we play 3-goal games all the time. Uh-huh. So if my team ever struggles to put one into the back of the big net. We'll add a couple small nets and kind of help run the score up a bit. Now, I think that's very fair. As long as they get weighed down, they're anchored properly. Playing a 3-goal game, I think is fair. Now, I also think we should allow an overage player rule, whereas I can sub myself into the match. I don't care if it's a U12 boys game. If we need a goal, let coach come on and play the number 9 and grab a hat trick from shooting from half field. I think that is also very fair. I don't think any coach actually would really argue with that rule. I mean, it's unless they're very bad, which some people might have that problem. Now,
for the audience that doesn't know, he's just pointing at me. I do not like this disrespect going towards my name. This is my show.
Listen. I only pointed. They can't see me. They heard you, but so he just did the whole calm down thing with his hand to me. I feel like my dad's yelling at me.
Oh, Bajo.
And now I know my mom does listen into this, so Mom, I love you, but he looked like dad for a second, very scary looking. But I think those are 2 rules, and we're gonna call that the super sub rule, where I'm allowed to sub myself on. The 3-goal rule is gonna be we're just gonna call that the what's called, I don't know what we're gonna call that. We call that the training goal rule, right? Because we had training goals in practice. Now, I think if a kid is a slow player and he can't run fast, offside shouldn't count for the kid. So I think we should be able to designate a player on each team and say, hey, little Bobby is allowed to be offside if he wants today because he can't run fast anyway. I think it would help little Bobby score a lot more goals. So we're getting rid of the offside rule for only for one kid. The referees can figure that out. It's not my problem.
Here's the player number. Have fun.
Yeah, okay, number 7, he's not allowed to be offside today. Now, I think we should also start to give coaches those challenge flags from the NFL.
Oh, my God.
So we should be able to challenge at least one play a game. And regardless of whether the referee gets it right or not, we are able to challenge it and overturn it. It's automatic overturn.
What are we gonna get charged with it? Because in the NFL, once you throw the challenge flag, and if you don't get it right,
no,
you
that's
get
the
charged with
thing.
timeout.
That's the thing. Just like most coaches' egos tell them, coaches are always right. So if they challenge something, the referee's automatically wrong. So if I yell offside and the referee doesn't, I throw my flag. Now it's offside.
Oh my God.
Right now, and I think the 5th rule is I think that a coach who is in the lead should never be allowed to end the match, but the guy that's losing should be able to pretty much pull a whistle out of his pocket and blow for the end of the match whenever they'd like. So if I'm losing by 7 goals and we're 35 minutes into a match, I should be able to have a special whistle I can pull out and end the match early.
Yeah, it's called a forfeit. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
No.
Forfeit.
It's called being nice. It's called being nice. Now, do I back any of these rules? I think they're all insane and ridiculous, and they have no place in our game. But I'm certain from all the games I will coach this spring and summer at tournaments and whatnot, I am certain I can find one coach that agrees with one of these rules. And I will be back on this show the second that happens, because I think I might be able to pull something with that no offside for a slow kid rule.
So Besmir is trying to make himself have his own hiatus, so he has to come back by saying
No, listen, there's nowhere else I'd rather be from 10 to 12 on a Wednesday than at WMSC 90.2. No, 90.3. Close enough.
And you even messed
Close
that
enough. Close enough.
He did it purposely.
But honestly, I think those are simple rules we can make. Now, in all seriousness, for any of those people that are listening on that think that sounded absolutely ridiculous, that was the whole point. Please understand that there are some coaches out there that actually think that kind of stuff makes sense.
Yeah.
No. No. There's no... we want to talk about controversial stuff. There are certain things coaches think or do that really bother me sometimes. And I think this is what we should talk about next. Is things that coaches do are just completely disrespectful. They don't realize.
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? So we have to talk about the weekend's results. We have stuff that we need to talk about.
This is our controversial topic of the week.
Our controversial topic should be VAR, messing up 3 games, I think, this past weekend. It was Real Madrid versus Sevilla. It was Juventus versus
Liverpool
Bologna.
versus never mind. No. Liverpool just messed up Manchester United.
Exactly. And then there was one more game of the Prem. I forgot what it was. But the Juventus Bologna game, I think, was the worst example of it, with how like horrendous they've been using the VAR and how bad the calls have been from the referee.
I think
because here's the thing: Bologna got 2 red cards at the 70th minute, and the first red card came because the last defender had challenged Morata, making a run into the box. They were body to body. He put in a foul. It's a yellow card at most. It wasn't that serious of a foul, but then the referee didn't even call a foul whatsoever. That's the thing, and the ball came loose. Juan Cuadrado has a wide open goal, can put it away, slot it away easy, and misses it. That's where the VAR comes in and calls the foul back and then gives Bologna a red card. And then Bologna's captain, Gary Medel, gets another red card because he was arguing with the referee.
Now, in all fairness, Gary Medel is always walking that line of getting red carded every time I watched him play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, you know what? Not even argue his red card. Well-deserved. He probably deserves an extra 3 dozen in his whole career he hasn't gotten.
Too much. Just...
Now, in that game, huge shout-out to Marko Arnautovic. I love that guy.
I don't like that guy.
So, well, fair enough.
Why is it because he's a server?
I don't know, bro. He put up some, what was it, the hand gestures during the, what was it?
Yeah, that's fair.
Euros?
Okay, yeah.
Alaba decided to grab his mouth.
He might have done some slightly stupid things. I'm allowed to say that word,
yes.
Right? Some slightly stupid things. But the guy's got talent. If it wasn't for the thing between his ears and his head, his brain, he would have been an unreal player. Honestly, he would have been so good. He was always right on that level of breaking out, but always kind of hesitating because of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, his countryman goes and equalizes, the last kick of the game, the 96th minute.
He's a very good player. I mean, he definitely could have started in this West Ham team now.
West Ham need him now. West Ham is struggling for a striker because their strikers keep being injured.
Exactly. I mean, when he was at West Ham, to me, I was watching him all the time. He was doing fine. He was doing a lot fine for me, to be honest. So
I mean, it was like West Ham just had a big rejuvenation, just clearing players out, revitalizing the team, and we see that now with them even contending for 4th place and with the players that they have. So that's the thing though about West Ham, right? So they have this big overarching shadow of what's gonna happen with Declan Rice. He's being priced out at like $150 million.
Ridiculous. The English tax for you.
Yeah.
But then somehow either Chelsea or United are gonna go in and pay for him. It doesn't make any sense.
Man United have already made one mistake paying over $100 million for a player, and now the player's the captain. And now you can see on full display.
He was 80 million pounds. Okay, it was not.
Big old slab head.
Oh my God! Don't get me started.
Some of the way he defends, I
have to say, in my life. If Harry Maguire was not on the field yesterday, Phil Jones put all of Liverpool in his back pocket. I'm telling you right now. Phil Jones was class if Harry Maguire wasn't in his way.
Can Phil Jones' pockets hold 4 goals?
Yes, he can. His pockets can hold anything he wants.
Yeah, especially himself.
Yes, he has very big pockets.
United just need a whole defensive rebuild.
I wouldn't. It's just tough because we have someone like Rafael Varane who's good, but he's always getting injured every 5 games. You have Lindelof who is a solid center back at times.
He puts in good displays.
But he needs a partner. He needs a strong partner with him. He can't be the reliable center back out of the two. Like he has to be the more progressive, more reaching for balls center back. That's why him and Varane usually work like 9 times out of 10.
Well, I have a question. What does Bailly have to do to get a look at?
Stop getting injured. That's what's happening. He has great performances, gets injured, tries to come back, struggles to get back on the team because for some reason Harry Maguire is a starter, and now he's probably looking to get offloaded in the summer.
He should. I mean, the way he defends. I mean,
look. No one's questioning Bailly's ability. They're questioning his ability to stay healthy. That's all it is. He always has like a calf injury, or he's always like tearing something. Like there's always issues happening with him.
I mean, at this point, Maguire at halftime at the game might as well just swap shirts with one of the defenders and go play for the other team. The way he's just not defending how he's supposed to.
Well, I heard they might actually be making a new rule for him, where anytime a player runs by him, he's just automatically offside. He needs a little bit extra help.
No. I thought the rule was like if a player runs by him, he's allowed to just go studs up on him, like no repercussions.
Yeah.
He'd have to be able to catch him. Harry
I know.
Maguire would even miss a tackle. But here's the thing about Harry Maguire. He's going to get to the World Cup next year.
Oh my goodness.
England's looking good.
But here's the thing about England. I say this all the time.
He's going to look good, and suddenly he's going to be a star again. Everyone's going to forget about all the drama around him.
Yeah, but here's the issue. England set themselves up where anyone you put in that center back role is going to look good because they don't have to worry about making any mistakes. But wait, the position that Maguire is put in, he has a center back to the left of him. He has Kyle Walker to the right of him, and then he has always a Declan Rice and a Calvin Phillips in front of him, covering like his whole entire space. So he's allowed to do anything he wants, makes mistakes, and there's no repercussions in that team because of how much of a deep block they play in.
Yeah, you know what? They would make me look good.
They make anybody look good.
That's great. I think honestly he put in a good performance when he was at Leicester, but I mean
It was because he had Johnny
season,
Evans supporting him in the back, dude.
After one season, I would
love Johnny Evans.
Johnny Evans at Leicester, he's been carrying every center back partnership there. He's made Soyuncu look good, Wesley Fofana, everybody in that Leicester back line look good because of Johnny Evans.
He just couldn't make United look good.
Well, he looked terrible at United. Here's the one thing you realize is that any player that leaves United, they leave United with so much pressure off of them because to play for Manchester United is the same pressure as playing for Chelsea.
Yeah, you have
There's a certain standard you have to meet.
Possibly more.
Possibly more, yeah.
Possibly more. And, that it's not something I'd like to admit, but Chelsea's a big club now. We can't deny that fact.
Oh yeah, of course.
United's one of the biggest. I mean, aside from playing for like United, where's really a step up in terms of club size? Now, I'm not saying, the best players in the world right now are playing for United. Arguably the greatest player in history is, but to play for Manchester United, I mean, I think it's only rivaled by being a Galactico at Madrid.
Yeah.
yeah.
Everyone wants to play for Real Madrid. Nobody would ever turn down the chance to work at or to play for Manchester United at the Theater of Dreams. It's magical there. There's a certain allure to it. It's the same kind of attractiveness that's coming back to Liverpool. Where, yes, Anfield's always been a fortress. It's always been arguably the toughest stadium in England, if not Europe, to play in because of that 12th man in the stands.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm Chelsea through and through. That's not a lie. One day that will come back to haunt me. I'm sure.
Guys, I don't know if you've done this, but Besmir is a Chelsea fan. Just to clarify.
For the 24th time on.
I think we're at the 50th. I don't think it's 50th time.
Okay, for the 50th time, being Chelsea through and through, though. How could you ever turn down Luke Shaw? Luke Shaw was Chelsea through and through. You don't turn down United when they come for you.
No.
Yeah.
It's Manchester United, for God's sake.
And he's had probably two of the best spells a left back can have at Manchester United before he broke his leg.
Well, two good spells and also two very bad spells. Talk about a roller coaster.
I know. It's like he was playing like on the top of the world before he broke his leg, and then last season he was probably one of the best left backs in the world by far. You cannot question Luke Shaw last season.
No, he played well.
Even in the Euros, he bagged a goal in the final for the team. He was just nonstop. It was really hard for Chilwell to get minutes in the Euros with how great Luke Shaw was that season.
Yeah.
And that's talking about someone like Ben Chilwell, who's a class player.
Oh, man. I think he is.
When he's healthy. I think that's been the issue, though, with a lot of these players. It's like a lot of them struggle to stay healthy.
Agreed. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I don't know what they're doing in order to, sit there and just continuously get injured.
It's hard. It's so hard. It's so hard to combat it because you have to understand, being a player in England, you're playing, I would say, 2 times more of the games than anyone else in the world does within their leagues. Like, if you look at the amount of games a Barcelona player plays in comparison to let's say, a West Ham player plays, it's completely different in the amount. Unless you're, Who was it? Was it Pedri who played 74 games in a calendar year, which is, in a calendar season, which is mental.
Yeah, which we can go into. That's going to be its own week where we can talk about the greed and how money's ruining the sport. To play that many matches for a kid is
Well, that was just because our Barca had no other option. They had no one else that was good enough to play in the midfield at that time. No one else.
yeah, but I think at one point they said he had a 2-week break the entire year.
Well, yeah, because it was literally in between the season ending and the Euros. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, I still think it's just very, very. So like the NCAA for baseball, and I'm just starting to get into some baseball because FDU built a brand new facility
Yeah,
for
I saw
baseball.
that.
It's beautiful. I sat in the press box the other day. But like you're only allowed to throw a certain number of pitches because it's not healthy for a pitcher to throw hundreds of pitches every day.
Oh yeah, baseball
know?
has that rule. Yeah.
You know, in soccer, the only rule we have is we're not allowed to go 7 days a week. So on a Sunday.
Yeah, but like, has anyone looked at United's fixture list right now? Within the next 9 days, they played Liverpool, they play Arsenal. Was it? I think they play 2 more big teams. I'm blanking on who it is. But like, either way, within the next 9 days, they have 4 games. Think about that.
I know, and for a club like United struggling to get into the top 4, it's going to be a very, very important.
And with
run.
with Ronaldo out due to personal issues, which by the way, all best of luck to the Ronaldo family with what's happened recently. Really sad sight to see.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's class gesture by Liverpool yesterday.
Yeah, very class.
Yeah.
You know, the applause in the 7th minute and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, but like I saw a meme online. It was like, was Liverpool really doing the applause at the 7th minute for Ronaldo, or because they scored a goal already within 7 minutes?
They were still celebrating their goal. I mean, like, that is something I try to tell my players all the time, though, is you need to show as much class and professionalism as you can. Like, what they did for United and Ronaldo, specifically, was awesome. You know, it is something that shows that soccer, football, is more than just a game, right? There's more to it than just, the 90 minutes on the pitch. And then for Liverpool to do that and then just to go in, embarrass them yesterday, like that, I have a lot more respect. Liverpool's earned a lot more of my respect. Not that they didn't have it, but after that, it was a tremendous moment for football. And for someone like myself who tries to teach the next generation of people, not just players, that competitiveness and professionalism, class, respect can all be present at the same time. That gesture by Liverpool was exactly what helps prove my point to my players. It was. We talk about it all the time. We're doing more than just teaching them how to do step overs or to drive a ball or, how to interchange positions, whatever it might be. There are things that they need to take with them for the rest of their lives. Liverpool is a huge proponent in that. We have training later today. I'm going to mention that later today at my training session. It was a great moment. I absolutely loved it.
Okay, so from there, we have to, let's see, so we covered horrendous VAR call. Oh, yeah, the VAR call for Real Madrid-Sevilla. Vinicius Jr., right? He gets open for a goal, takes a touch. So here's how the touch goes for anyone who is listening. The touch goes inside of the chest right here, off the shoulder and down.
Well, I just said right here, like they could totally
inside. I'm trying to explain.
Just on the edge of the breastbone.
Yes,
near the armpit.
Yeah, like right there is like the best way to explain it. So that,
like right there,
like right there. So off like the edge of his chest, like in between the armpit and like the arm. So right there to the side,
like the fingertips. So like if you're putting your hand on your heart for the national anthem,
or the
right where the fingertips are, right where the Pledge of Allegiance.
And then it hits off his shoulder, goes down, and he takes a shot, scores. Right. VAR call. The referee first off went straight to VAR. He questioned it right away, which was confusing to say the least. They looked over 12 angles. Not even joking. 12 angles of it, and because of the one angle of the back showed it somewhat maybe seeming like touching his arm, he was like, oh, no goal. And Real Madrid still went on to win the game 4-2, right? 4-2?
Is an absolute machine right now.
Even Vinicius, bro. Vinicius is a wombo combo.
Machine. And that's tough to say as a Lewandowski supporter.
That's the thing. Like me, it's like usually like I could care less what happens to La Liga, but I was really happy for once that Real Madrid won a game. It was like they deserved it. Like they had the. I don't know, like, it's so tough to explain because, like, where do you see the future of football going right now? With how VAR has been changing up the game, how referees don't even know what to call anymore. Because I have not seen a single good referee performance lately, besides maybe the Liverpool game yesterday, where there was really nothing to challenge.
I'm not against technology being brought in. Now, anyone that knows me knows my stance is pretty simple. I think that when it comes to VAR and technology, it's great. VAR is nowhere near complete and finished. I think it's come a long way than the having to wait 10 minutes for a check to be done and all that other stuff. It's become a lot quicker. Stuff like goal line technology has been a great addition to the sport. But at the same time, everyone knows my stance. I actually like the craziness of no VAR. Was it offside? Sure. Did the ref call it? No. Oh, well, it's a goal. Keep playing. I'm a Chelsea supporter. The amount of time, there was one game specific, Chicharito comes on against Chelsea, dying embers of the match, completely offside, and buries a goal to win the match for United. Okay. It is what it is. It's part of the game.
Yeah.
A year or two later, John Terry scores a goal. He does that little back heel flick, completely offside. But listen, we just won the match. I don't care if it's offside or not. John Terry just won the match.
But that's another big issue, right? These offside calls they're making is legitimately they call it off by the slightest millimeter, not even funny.
And then it depends where they're drawing lines, why they're drawing
but
lines.
But if you look at some of the lines they draw, it's they're completely on an angle. They're not even straight. They're like a diagonal line. They're not even a straight line.
They're looking
it's
for any small little piece of just any arm, leg, heel, just to call somebody onside or offside.
Well, especially if it's Chelsea, because there is a campaign against Chelsea. But that's a whole different story.
Oh my God.
I'm going to start my own podcast where I only talk Chelsea.
Yeah, do it.
And then I will be able to speak about Chelsea and then listen to it all week until I do it again, and it's gonna be brilliant.
Yeah.
But VAR, I love the ideas behind it. There are certain aspects where, how can you pick and choose, right? Like Chelsea scores a goal on Real Madrid off a corner that wasn't really a corner. How the referee making that mistake is game changing because Chelsea scores directly off that corner.
Yeah.
How can you not go back to VAR? That impacts the team I support. So
here's the thing, I understand VAR. VAR is necessary in certain scenarios, but there's times where the referee makes a blatant error of not seeing something.
Yeah. Or
there's actually something horrendous that happens on the field that doesn't get called because you can't call it it's something where it's the VAR can't call, the referee can't see. But I thought that was the whole point of it. Is that the VAR is meant to pick up stuff where it's if a player let's see kicks someone off the play and they see someone else dive or something and the referee doesn't know what to make a call there. That's where VAR is supposed to come in, right?
The challenge flags I was talking about earlier.
Oh my God. If challenge flags come to football, I'm not watching it anymore. I'll be perfectly honest.
Imagine, but picture it.
Imagine Carlo Ancelotti freaking out on the sideline. He goes, challenge.
But or Guardiola, using the flag to dry off his head if it's raining out.
Yeah, he's just chilling it there. He's waiting to use it.
No, but Guardiola would never use the challenge flag because he's always right anyway.
Dude, imagine Mourinho with a challenge flag. He'd shove it down the referee's throat.
He would have grabbed it and just started flinging it towards the fans and everything. He would have just went crazy with it.
But that's the thing. You look at the challenge flag isn't the worst thing in the world. Listen, if I'm Ancelotti, I'm challenging that corner. I challenge that corner. I'm winning that. Now, what you can say is, if there was going to be a rule, listen, if they're going to consider bringing sin bins into the sport, where you can get a blue card to sit out for 5 minutes because you're being a bad boy or bad girl, whatever. If you're going to introduce that, you can introduce the opportunity for a coach to challenge the referee, because we know the ego trip some referees can go on, and there are some professional referees that always seem to make it about them.
Or there's some referees that'll tell a player to shut up. It's
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Those are the worst.
The referee said that to me in our game last week.
Well, real quick, before we get into this, you are listening to WMSC Upper Montclair.
It's top of the hour.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
So, by the way, I love when you do that every week. But anyway, so we're playing in our 77 NJ Play League. Yes, I'll shout out NJ Play. Jess does a great job with the league. We've been playing it for years
But
now.
they stopped recording us now.
Yeah.
We have to bring our own recordings.
But no, thank God we didn't record that game because I looked horrible. I got very upset with the referee. Now our team didn't put in a great performance. In all honesty, I was frustrated with our team, with myself.
Yeah.
We didn't put in a great performance.
I played a perfect game. I don't know what you're talking about.
You always play a perfect game, but
Exactly.
like the referee is sitting there. Now I take a shot. The goalkeeper outside of his box makes a save.
Oh my
Outside
God.
of his box makes the save.
Well, I think this is the biggest issue with NJ Play though. It's I don't understand why the goalie only has the 6-yard box.
They only use the 6. They don't even use the right 18.
That's horrible.
I understand where the mistakes can happen, but then what the referee says to Besmir after, honestly, I tried so hard not to laugh.
He turns
I controlled
to me.
myself. Oh
He
my
turns
God.
and I go, ref. In all fairness, you're walking at half field, drinking from a water bottle, not making this call. And he turns to me and he goes, I go, I'm not going to argue the rule. I'm arguing that you're not making this call. Like it's blatant. He turns to me and with all seriousness goes, well, every team does it, so I just don't call it. So look, I go, I got so upset. I turn to him and I simply say, so if everyone breaks the rule no longer counts.
Yeah, he was saying this at a very high,
Yes.
You were saying this a little loud with some attitude.
It was not this calm. We're both
Yeah.
yelling at each other essentially at this point.
But dude, as soon as he yelled at you to shut up, I was gonna laugh.
And then I go, ref, I'm just asking you to do your job. If one of us breaks the rules, we infringe on the laws of the game. Make the call.
And he goes, "Shut up,
He goes, shut up! Don't tell me what to do. Shut up!" And I look at him, and I got very serious. I look at him, I go, "You don't tell me to shut up. Like that's so."
Yeah,
telling Besmir to shut up. The man who loves to talk. Oh my God.
I raise my voice at referees sometimes, especially when I'm playing. But like it's always with respect. Like I don't sit. I let it, ref, just make the call if it's a call. He goes, well, if you're goalkeeper, I'm like, if my goalkeeper doesn't call it, I'll understand. I will be much more upset with my goalkeeper than I will be with you.
Yeah.
You're doing your for those that don't know, I also referee, as does like the majority of our team, and we all agreed. Listen, if our goalkeeper did it, which he hadn't done it that match, Nia did a great job in goal.
For someone who's a center back, class.
Yeah, he did a great job in that.
He made 10 saves, but they still put like 6 goals past us.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh man.
But like I'm sitting there, I'm like, listen, if we make that mistake, call it. If they make the mistake, call it. Believe it or not, that's. And then he turns to me and he goes, well, I have a partial torn meniscus, so I couldn't run all the way down there if I wanted to. So I look at him, I go, I'm like, sir, with all due respect,
I didn't hear that part.
I'm like, why on earth are you still officiating? He's like, this is small-sided. I don't need to run here.
Oh my God.
Granted, they're making us play on like the 9v9 field, and it's gigantic.
Yeah, it's a bigger field. And when
Oh my God.
when you hear I know on the radio, when you hear my voice go a slightly higher pitch, it's because I'm very annoyed. But like this guy, he just turns to me and he goes, I'm not doing my job because I'm not physically fit to do it. And at the same time, I'm not doing it because everyone breaks the rules. Like so, I just look
be
at
like
him.
everyone, you know.
So I'm like, so you denied me of a goal or a goal scoring opportunity just because everybody does it and you don't want to call it?
Oh my God.
And it's. What's the next topic?
He's too heated. He's too heated.
I'm gonna have
Also
high blood pressure.
about VAR, I do agree with Besmir, but I feel like VAR should have been played a lot earlier. Because when I hear about VAR, it reminds me of 2 matches, especially one. It was Chelsea versus Barcelona. When Didier Drogba decided, he's had enough of the referee, and also Michael Ballack came in and started.
Referee never officiated another match though. Horrendous. Talk about a campaign against Chelsea.
That was
UEFA Lona really
officiating
put it to us there, didn't they?
Also, Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich. I think it was the 2016 Champions League when Arturo Vidal got a red card for a clean tackle on Marco Asensio. If there was VAR, I promise you that would have been overturned. I don't know if it would have, changed the outcome of the match. We probably still would have lost. But, giving a red card for a clean tackle is just absolute nonsense.
Honestly, I think Chelsea have one of the best moments against Barcelona, that Mikel Essien goal, bro. Honestly,
yeah.
I don't think anything will top that moment
Such a
against the
beautiful
Barcelona, especially that Barcelona team. That team that was insane.
Well, I mean, we can talk about, I believe it was, there were moments, and for those listening that do follow the sport closely, Chelsea was not founded in 2004 when Abramovich bought us. Yeah, I'd love for one of you guys to explain why you guys are chuckling to that.
Because people genuinely think that, like there's people who didn't know what Chelsea was before 2004. Like, that's the crazy thing.
I know, but like in the year 2000, Chelsea beat United 5-0.
But it doesn't matter, dude, because we won the treble. Who cares?
No, but
That wasn't
I'm
the
just,
year 2000. It was 99, bro. Don't say 2000.
No, I'm gonna fact check you. Yeah, you're right. It was 99. But
Yeah,
still,
it was 99. We put
the
out
year-
we put out a weak team to make sure that we didn't have anyone
you were on a
strenuous.
29 match unbeaten run, and we beat you 5-0.
I don't know what you're talking about. We had put a weak team out because we didn't want to tire anybody for our 3 finals we were gonna win.
5-0.
Treble.
We weren't even technically a club at this point
Treble.
because people think we weren't founded then.
Treble.
Yeah, he just wanted some of the young players to get a nice little
Treble.
kickstart to their
That's
career.
all I have to say. Treble. That's it. Treble.
Congratulations. I mean, I'm not going to get into this because
Look, here's the. I will say Chelsea is older than Man City, at least with with being a successful club. Because what would you say? I would think post 2010 is when City actually became a real club. Because before that, they were just a middling club. I would say they were the lesser equivalent of today. If you were looking at a Man City before 2010,
say that again.
Man City. If we're talking about the level of club they were before 2010, I put them to the equivalent of Leicester. Leicester City.
Leicester now or Leicester?
Leicester right now, not Leicester like 2015-16.
Leicester's been in the top flight for quite a while now.
Yeah.
City was relegated in the early 2000s, weren't they?
Yeah, but I'm trying to make the equivalent for the audience. Okay, fine. Leeds. How's that sound? Leeds, huh?
Leeds at least has a history.
Yeah.
Manchester City, talk about
I can't say Wolves. Oh my God.
Wolves has quite a history too.
Norwich City. How does that sound?
Why are you disrespecting Norwich like that?
Because the fact they lost 3-2 to a United team that lost 4-0 to Liverpool, embarrassing.
Ronaldo with his first free kick goal in, what was it, like 40, 50 matches?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
He was trying to recreate that goal for God knows how long.
It was a good strike, though. I'll give it to him. Off the post and in. Beautiful.
I mean, it was
Horrible goalkeeper from Tim Krul.
I'm about to say, poor Tim Krul, bro.
Poor Tim Krul,
what
man.
a
I don't
goalie.
know.
I love that guy. Especially because, does anyone remember that iconic moment when he got subbed on in the World Cup for the PKs, bro?
Casper Silesen.
He's such a... I think there are a few people that I like watching more in the world than
I loved watching him in Newcastle.
Krul. He's so much fun. So much fun. And he seems like such a genuinely... Like, a lot of these... Like we talk about the cycling GK all the time.
Ben Foster.
Yeah,
He
Ben
is-
Foster.
he, like,
The man.
there must be a thing about goalkeepers. They all seem so likable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides David De Gea, I just can't seem to like him.
Nah, I don't blame you. A lot of people, for some reason, when he does, press junkets and when you look at him, he just seems like a not likable guy. There's a certain word I could use, but we're on air, so I can't use it. But
Yeah, no, he just seems like...
he looks like a Richard. There we go. I'll put that.
You know why? I think it's because he's always thought that his don't stink.
Yeah.
And he consistently trying to push a move through Real Madrid, to Real Madrid, and then they get Courtois, and he's stuck at United now permanently. You know?
I mean, I'd be upset too if I had Maguire defending in front of me every single time and had to pull out 16 saves in a match.
But the thing is, he was doing that, but he had Phil Jones and Eric Bailly and them in front of him, which was manageable because they were at least decent center backs.
Bailly with the step over.
Bailly with a step.
That was against
over.
Chelsea, wasn't it?
Oh my God, bro.
Please. have you seen the tear Antonio Rudiger's been going on lately?
Yeah, he's about to go tear you guys up by leaving on a free, bro.
Him and Christensen.
Hey, man,
You're losing
that guy.
2 class. What's up with you guys and getting rid of class center backs? Oh, Mark Gahey, we don't care about you. Oh, Tamori, goodbye.
Here,
I really hope the management team at Chelsea has some kind of a plan. Antonio Rudiger is he starts on any team in the world right now. Like
and he's
unreal.
guaranteed going to Barcelona if Chelsea does not re-up his contract.
Like
Barcelona already have put in an agreement and everything. They're waiting.
I haven't found a single person that would turn down signing Antonio Rudiger. The guy's a class act.
Imagine Man United last second swoops in.
No, he has too much respect for himself.
Yeah, even follows Rudiger.
I don't know, dude. Money says otherwise. Look at Ronaldo.
Fair enough. He's stuck at United.
For only another season.
Yeah, and
If he wants, he's actually planning on leaving, supposedly. Which I wouldn't blame him
if he
for.
goes back to Portugal, it's just I'd
What
rather
do you
see him in
guys?
MLS.
I have a question. What do you guys think? Do you think Ronaldo helps United or has ruined United?
Well, without Ronaldo, no, United would probably be in a deeper situation currently. 'Cause I don't see anybody else scoring the goals besides maybe Sancho or.
Well, here's the thing, right? So for the people who are arguing both sides, the argument is that since Ronaldo came in, we've changed the whole shape of the team because in order for a Ronaldo to thrive in your team, it has to be a Ronaldo-centric team. You can't have any other idea behind it. You can't have a Bruno being a star, a Pogba, nobody. Ronaldo is Ronaldo. Everything goes through him. And there's arguments to be made if Ronaldo wasn't there is that the team would have actually gelled a lot better and we would have been a way more cohesive unit. Instead, that's the arguments I've been hearing. And it's tough. Because what do you say to the best player to ever play the game? What do you tell him?
I think Ronaldo has been a much more of a team player than some people give him credit for.
I agree.
I agree as well.
I agree.
I think he's been much more of a team player. He clearly isn't at United just for himself. I'm a huge Ronaldo fan. Who scores the goals that Ronaldo scores at United? Alanga's not going to make up tally. They got rid of Martial.
Well, Martial left in January.
Yeah,
for a long,
but
long overdue.
If United was willing to bring Ibrahimovic in, who is an absolute, we can have this conversation all day.
Love you.
Such a great player, cancer to a locker room in a team situation. Talk about not allowing a team to gel.
Yeah.
Ibrahimovic.
Zlatan's the complete opposite, though. Zlatan will bring a locker room together.
Yes and no. I mean, everywhere he leaves, though, he leaves a mess because...
Well, the United locker room, I don't think he left that in a mess. Like,
yeah, they won the Europa League that season.
He left that United locker room with a lot of people missing him. Like, him and Jesse Lingard, I remember that link up that season. Them two were, like, a great combo together. It was, Lingard's probably best season in the Prem before he went to West Ham.
Yeah, I'll still argue to my death that...
I'm saying I United. Inter, I agree. Barcelona, I agree. I want to say AC Milan because he's come back and the locker room is still in pretty decent shape.
Well, the thing, everywhere he goes, though, I've always seen, like, everyone just seems to say negative things about him once he leaves. I mean, I would never want to manage a player like Ibrahimovic.
I would.
I definitely would. I'd kiss the ground that he walks on.
I mean...
Okay, well, we're saying manage, not love. Okay, calm down. Okay?
But he just seems to be. It's always about him. He's God. He's whatever. Like Ronaldo,
the God of Manchester, bro.
But Ronaldo is. Ronaldo is. Ronaldo is arguably the greatest player to ever play the game. And yet he doesn't say half the things that Ibrahimovic says.
If we're talking about at age, though, of what they've done, like, let's say, like, if you're talking about Zlatan and Ronaldo, same age at United right now. Like, not Ronaldo in his first session, at United. We're talking about Ronaldo right now and Zlatan when he had first gone to United. They're both putting in the same amount of goal inputs and assists. It's just that Zlatan got injured 3/4 of the way through the season with an ACL injury.
That's the thing. You can argue an experienced player scores goals. Ronaldo came in as a teenager and lit the world on fire.
I'm saying now, though. Yeah.
No, I understand, but Ronaldo's 37 years old.
I'm saying both of them at 37, playing for a United team. Both almost had the same exact output, except Zlatan got hurt, and everyone else around him was scoring more.
Yeah, but he also had a different squad than Ronaldo is dealing with right now.
I miss Ander Herrera.
Who was
Wayne Rooney?
Who was managing United when Ibra was there?
It was Mourinho. Mourinho's second place season.
You currently don't even have a manager. You have Ragnick stepping in, who isn't going to be a manager next year.
But he's also Ragnick's not a manager though.
No, he's not. So
that's why I don't understand a lot of this criticism towards him. Like, oh, the bloke doesn't know how to run a team. It's like he's not meant to be the on-field coach. He's meant to be the guy in the background, making moves for you, organizing stuff together for you, so that way you don't have to worry about all that stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's what he's meant to be.
But and to consider not having Mourinho with him, Ronaldo's still been extraordinary this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he's been extraordinary in what is
His lowest scoring season, though.
but a much larger transition period for United than we've seen in a very long time.
This is I would say this is worse than the 13-14 season, because the 13-14 season was just letting a lot of aging players go, like Rio Ferdinand, Vidic, and all those guys.
Yeah, no, I mean I would agree. I just think once again, I think Ibra just talks too much, man, and he's all about me. And let's be real. How much has he really won? Yeah, he wins a couple league titles here or there, whatever. Ronaldo's won everything.
He's just never won a Champions League. It was so funny. The season after he leaves Inter, they win the Champions League.
Yeah, teams all seem to huddle around each other and fight together and win a Champions League the second the egotistic maniac leaves.
I don't know.
I'm not a fan of Ibra's. I mean, you know, the fact that he can never stay at a club for too long speaks volumes.
I mean, he would have stayed at United longer, but Mourinho had left. He was injured. He wanted something different.
But that's the thing. How many excuses are we going to give Ibra?
Well, I'm just saying in the aspect of United, because I feel like him and United were actually a good thing. That was someone where I wish they hadn't left when they did, because the issue is that as soon as Zlatan got hurt, we decided, let's go get Lukaku. And Lukaku, I feel like he suits United right now more than he suits that Chelsea system. And Lukaku is the one player I wish we actually had not let go. But I didn't like the circumstances he came into.
I don't know
you
how
what
I
I'm saying?
feel about Lukaku. Lukaku sometimes he's a good striker, and then other times he's just...
Well, it's
bang
how he's
average.
played. It's like, it makes no sense. Chelsea, when they play with Kai Havertz up top, they play and run in behind, and let him just try to get behind the line, score goals, which is what Lukaku does. But when Lukaku's on the pitch, they want him to do hold-up play and try to move the ball around, which isn't his style. That's not how he plays. Yes or no, Besso?
Lukaku is...
Well, I'm just saying with how Chelsea plays with certain players on the pitch. Are you telling me that when Kai Havertz is not at the 9,
I'm gonna be
he doesn't
honest.
like to play in behind?
People think I'm crazy when I say people talk bad about Werner and whatnot. I think he needs to be a starter for Chelsea. Real Madrid, he comes off the pitch, the whole game changes. He, against Southampton, great.
Yeah.
Today against Arsenal, if Werner starts, I know he's gonna put in a good shift.
Yeah.
He hit a period, a spell of low confidence, and you kind of tell it was gone. You know, he recently mentioned in an interview how his pace is back, the quickness, the turbo is back.
Yeah.
You know, where Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Pulisic, whoever you want to throw into that 3 is, in my opinion, the best 3 we can. We won the Champions League with them.
Yeah.
You know, how can you argue against them? We won the Champions League with them. You know, Lukaku, the idea behind it was great. I was a huge supporter of it.
So was I. I thought he was going to be top goal scorer this season, to be perfectly honest.
When a player like him scores a goal and doesn't want to celebrate, and he does this whole, you know, he's not bigger than the club is.
No.
If I was the coach manager at Chelsea, he wouldn't play another game all season. If you don't want to show that you care about this team, we don't need you here.
I think the biggest issue with Lukaku is that he's trying to act like he's like a basketball player in a different sport, you know? Like athletes are not like that in this sport. Like, you can't act like a basketball player, because basketball players' behaviors do not get away. They don't get away with what you can get away with in football. It's different.
It is, and I just think Lukaku has to understand the simple fact that there is, what's the right word? There's a different level. There's a different style of professionalism in the way you're supposed to carry yourself in soccer. You know, like you said, you can't, like, requesting a trade is very taboo in soccer.
Yeah, it is.
You know, it's Wayne Rooney tried to force a move from United.
Well, because Ferguson, they had a big fallout.
You know,
with Ferguson.
but that's what it took. It took your manager saying, "Get out of my face, go wherever you want," and Rooney still had to think twice about doing that.
Yeah.
You know,
It was like with Harry Kane this summer. Everyone was scolding him. That's the craziest thing with Harry Kane this summer, right? He somehow, with his situation, made Daniel Levy look like an angel.
yeah.
Like, think about that. Daniel Levy. Like, that guy is, like, probably one of the most, like, side-handed people ever. And that's, like, the last person you ever want to be, like, referring to within somehow regarding to look like an angel.
No, agreed. I mean, I think he is someone who, like, Harry Kane had. Speaking about Harry Kane, he had everyone turn on him because you're not expected to do that as a soccer player.
Well, it was just the way how he did it. Like, at his, what was it? It was at his wedding. Like, his brother invited, like, BBC over or something, and, like,
Gotta love it.
and then, like, random, like op-eds with, like, Gary Neville and stuff like that. It's just, there was, like, if he had just came out asking for a transfer request, straight up, like, no other, like, other if, ands, or buts around it, like, doing certain, like, other things, fans would have respected it way more, especially at Tottenham, for everything he's done for that club. He's a homegrown player. He's been captaining the club a little bit. He's been their top goal scorer, without a doubt. The only person I think who's been doing better in general is Heung-min Son. He's actually second in the race for the Golden Boot.
Son is an absolute baller. I still can't believe Tottenham finds any way to keep that type of sort of player in their team.
Dude, Son has, 17 goals and 6 assists this season? Think about that. In the Premier League. In an underperforming Tottenham side, 17 goals, 6 assists. Heung-min Son.
Yeah, no, I think he is good. I just try to figure out what other teams could use him that need him right now. United, sure. City.
Supposedly that they agreed to deal with Holland already.
City maybe has less of a reliance on. Son and Kane score a lot of goals because everything goes through them at Spurs. Everything goes through them.
Yeah.
They're good. They're very good players.
Kane
Some of the
has had
best.
to be like too creative though, which has been the issue as of late.
I could see Son in a Juventus system. Honestly, him, Dusan Vlahovic up top, and Federico Chiesa.
Honestly, you throw Son at City, he's guaranteed a 40-goal season. I think.
See, I'm not sure because it's so much more of a team system at City.
No, but the reason why I say this because I've not seen a weak foot as good as Son's.
Yeah.
Besides,
I
like
agree.
maybe Messi's or like De Bruyne's. Those are the only 2 weak foots that I've seen.
Cristiano Ronaldo's
Yeah, dude, but like.
left foot is ridiculous. How about mine?
Okay, back off over there. You know how to do a crossbody shot with your left. That's it.
Nah,
Yikes.
honestly, I think Juventus would
very
fit Son perfectly. Honestly, I could see the duo of him, Chiesa and Vlahovic tearing up the City.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. I don't think he would ever go to Juve. Honestly,
I don't think he would either. But
because you gotta understand, Prem money and Prem football
yeah,
is hard to
But
match.
I could see him in a Milan jersey though.
Really?
AC Milan, Sonny in a Milan jersey.
Yeah,
I could see him in there too.
Well, listen,
I can see it somehow happening. Maybe.
Milan is competing for the Serie A title.
Well, they're also getting bought out right now. I think by like some Bahrain group because it's the same issue that Inter's having because they were bought out by Chinese owners.
yeah,
And then now with China, they're doing like this 100% tax on money going out of China for trying to like just bombard clubs with new investment. So now they're trying to just sell their assets off.
Well, if anyone from like Bahrain or like the Middle East or whatever want to invest in North Jersey Football Club,
oh my God.
Here we go. We're gonna just give you $20 million for your youth team. Let's see what happens.
for what? Yeah, just take it. Don't worry about it. I mean, I wouldn't complain about that.
Besmir comes back. Hey guys, so we got a new $100,000 investment from a Bahrain business group.
Yeah. We just have to say how much we like driving cars that are gas powered.
Yeah.
New sponsors every week. Just
Oh my God, it'd be like Fly Bahrain on their jerseys now for kid sponsors.
Actually,
my
that
God.
would be pretty cool.
What, to have like a nationwide, like trying to sponsor people flying out to them through your youth team jerseys?
Like visit, like I don't know, like visit ivorycoast.com.
Oh, we
Visit
could
Bahrain.org.
we could totally do it with Stuttgart, bro. But yeah. Visit Strug.com.
Yeah. I love the fact that you read a website in an accent though.
Yeah, because I'm thinking how how Stuttgart would say it, bro.
You just read a website in an accent. Love that.
I know.
Sorry, it wouldn't be it'd be a website.
Website.
It wouldn't be a website.
Welcome to our website.
Oh my God,
Welcome
bro.
to the website. We bought it at Walmart.
Bro, imagine. Okay, we cannot go too off topic, but I'm gonna say this real quick. Imagine you expose of like a foreign like European person to a Walmart, they'll go crazy.
I love Walmart.
I know, we all do. Okay, I'm leaving that there. I just had to say that real quick. Get it out of me. We're good. Back to it. All right, we have games today, guys. 3 games. We have Everton versus Leicester City, Chelsea versus Arsenal, Newcastle versus Crystal Palace.
Ooh.
So, Everton, Leicester. What are we thinking?
Yikes.
Everton have been underperforming a lot. They lost 3-2 to Burnley while being up 2-0. Richarlison scores 2 goals. And then Eddie Howe and... not Eddie Howe. Burnley and Sean Dyche, who unfortunately got sacked.
I know. The thing is, like, okay,
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry.
They've won 2 out of their last 3 games, which is, I think, big for an Everton. One of them against United because we're a joke. So... I don't know, because like Everton has the talent. Like if you compare an Everton to, let's say, a Newcastle right now, Everton has more talent than Newcastle, but Newcastle has way more unity than Everton.
I feel like your Everton is like your average Dortmund.
Yeah, but
sometimes they perform good, but then other times they get absolutely destroyed by like teams you never would have thought.
yeah,
had a
but like
chance.
but Dortmund does not get threatened for relegation. Like Dortmund
That's
makes
also
it
true.
makes it 5th on a bad year.
See if it got.
I love Frank Lampard. I'm giving the result 2-1 to Everton.
2-1 Everton.
Nah, I'm giving it the other way around. I'm giving the same scoreline, just the other way around for Leicester. I think James Madison is gonna have a class performance.
I'm
tonight.
going 5-5. Both teams.
Both teams forgot to defend.
Both teams forgot to defend. DCL comes back from injury. Gonna put 5 past them. Jamie Vardy's gonna have a party, and we're gonna just like see a masterclass happen. Donny Van de Beek with 5 assists. You know.
Listen, if they could multiply Harry Maguire 8 times to play the back 4 for both teams, maybe they would score 5
I
goals
know, right?
apiece.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, no. Liverpool already did 4. You just need to put one Harry Maguire on the other side, and you're golden.
With one Harry Maguire, they scored 4 goals. If there was
Imagine
4
with
of them,
Oh my God, it'd be like a 12-0. Okay, Chelsea Arsenal.
Oof.
I'm gonna let you guys talk before
Here's the
I
thing.
throw my input.
You know.
Chelsea are consistent in the Prem. They know how to play against these teams. Playing against Arsenal in a London derby is their shtick. That's their thing. They don't want to lose that. They cannot afford to lose that, especially in these trying times for them. But Arsenal have been on the bounce right now, playing phenomenally. They've had some really good performances in them. They're doing well. They're in contention for top 4, looking better than United right now, even though we're tied on points. But here's the thing. They have to come up against Chelsea and then United next. And as a United fan, I need them to lose, and I need us to beat them somehow, even though we have Harry Maguire in the back line. So I am calling a 1-0 victory for Chelsea.
1-0?
Yeah.
I think Arteta's going to throw out all the expensive football he's been trying to do and just hold you guys off. That's going to be the one. That's where I think it's going to happen.
If he's
He's going to throw Tomiyasu on a Werner or somebody to not let them create anything. Let him be a little menace and have the rest of the team just like try to survive.
I mean, for me, I personally think it'd probably be a 1-1 for me, honestly, because Chelsea are coming off of 2 defeats with Real Madrid and Brentford.
I know, but I do have to say it also depends on whether or not Bukayo Saka is starting, personally. Bukayo Saka, I think, is the player in that team. Him and Martin Odegaard have been 2 of the top performers for that club right now.
I put Odegaard above Saka.
I put Saka above Odegaard.
Odegaard is just so magical. I don't know, like everything.
Yeah, but like Saka but Odegaard has only been doing this well within the past 4 months, whereas Saka has been consistent that the whole entire season, And last year, his performances were outstanding as well. Like, he's the Arsenal player. But Chelsea has a lot of talent, and that's where Arsenal has to worry.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to be 1-1. I think either Odegaard is going to assist the goal or maybe score one today. He's been on fire.
I also think that Chelsea's going to be really upset about crashing out of the Champions League, that they're going to take all their anger out on Arsenal. So that's why
that also could be, another thing.
So that's why I think it might be 1-0.
Martinelli could put either Azpilicueta or Marcus Alonso on some skates today also. Martinelli is such an amazing player. I mean,
Martinelli would more so have to worry about Reece James. He's on the left side. So
that's true.
Are you guys... When was the last time you guys watched a Chelsea match?
When was the last time
I'm going to be very
I'm not
honest
saying
with
anything
you guys.
offensive about Chelsea.
You guys lost 4-1 to Brentford.
But I don't think you understand, though. We went from losing to Brentford in a bad match, getting beaten by Real Madrid at home,
unfairly,
to then hammering Southampton.
Yeah.
Who is
Okay.
Excuse me. They have Broha, the Albanian striker. Calm down over there.
What did Southampton just pull last weekend?
They pulled a big result last weekend. Big result.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So they won 1-0 this last week, right? 1-0.
Yeah.
Chelsea smacked them 6-0, and then we beat Real Madrid, outclassing them at the Bernabeu, just losing on goal difference.
Yep.
And then we walk over Crystal Palace in a game. I didn't feel nervous once during that Crystal Palace-Chelsea match. In the FA Cup semifinal, we walk over Crystal Palace. Mm-hmm. Which Arsenal player that you can honestly say would start on Chelsea? Give me one.
It's only between hold on.
Ramsdale.
No, Kieran Tierney I think would start for you.
Over who?
If Chilwell's injured, I think he starts over Alonso.
If
Chilwell's been out all season though.
If Marcos Alonso is the best goal-scoring wing-back, full-back to ever play the game.
Okay, yes.
He's unreal at it.
Why are you still defending him, bro? That guy should have left your club 4 seasons ago.
So, because this is why.
Emerson should have never left, dude. He showed in the Champions League final why he was better than Marcos Alonso. Dude.
All of the managers that continue to come in at Chelsea continue to turn to Marcos Alonso and say, okay, you can play. For us to be able to pull Marcos Alonso off the bench for Chilwell when he gets injured and whatnot is tremendous. The fact that we're going to Kieran Tierney as possibly the only player to be able to start for a Chelsea speaks volumes in itself and why.
I was also thinking Odegaard and maybe Saka, but it just
3.
depends who you have operating on that right side. Cause
any of them. Saka's not better than Ziyech or Pulisic or any of these guys.
Well,
Odegaard doesn't play over Mason Mount.
Well, that's also the point I was about to make too. Is that it's just the issue of Mason Mount plays both central and he plays out wide, and I like him better central than out wide. I think Mason Mount is way more effective in a central position than he is in a width position.
So, the Southampton team that beat Arsenal last weekend 1-0, that we hammered 6-0 the weekend before. We're not even going to mention that right now. Let's mention. But let's look at the Arsenal lineup in that match. Okay, the Arsenal lineup in that match. Ramsdale in net doesn't get near Mendy.
But still is doing phenomenal this season.
Tavares, Gabriel, White, Cedric across the back line.
Well, I don't know why Cedric's been starting this past couple of games.
The genius of Mikel Arteta.
Dude,
but
Tomiyasu is one of the best right backs to come to Arsenal.
I would say, I've known about Tomiyasu since he was in Bologna. He was amazing.
Yeah, but I'm looking at these guys, and I can't. There's not a player here that if Chelsea was to be rumored to be going after any of these guys, that I'd say, oh my god,
Smith Rowe.
What?
You wouldn't say Smith Rowe?
There's no. Any of these youngsters compared to
Smith Rowe's been way too inconsistent.
But compare them to the guys that Chelsea either has out on loan right now or has
sold,
right? But we don't need to go and pick up. With all due respect, Arsenal's youngsters look great and all, to compete for a top 4 finish. Chelsea, in a bad season with their youngsters, is finishing 3rd in the quarterfinal of the Champions League, losing in the League Cup final.
But look, this is the simple point we're trying to make. It's a North London derby against a big rival club of yours, in a game that matters most to both teams.
Chelsea wins by 2 or 3 goals. 2 or 3 goals. They lost 4-2. Man, suck it.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program. I'm still putting a Chelsea win, but it might be just a one-goal throw.
No, Chelsea wins by 2 or 3 goals. I'm not stepping away from that. I just don't think I just don't think that this Arsenal backline can handle Chelsea's. If
It depends who starts. If it is Kieran Tierney, Ben White, Gabriel, and Tomiyasu, you still have to worry a little bit.
no,
Not crazy. I don't think they're going to be unstoppable. I do think they'd still put in a decent shift at least.
the 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, 4-5-1, whatever you want to call Arsenal runs, I think will be torn apart by Chelsea's 3-4-3, a 3-5-2, whatever they might want to play with. I mean, in the last match, only Pepe and Emil Smith Rowe actually played. I don't even think Tierney was even on the bench. No, he wasn't.
I think Tierney might have picked up an injury, honestly.
Yeah.
But, once again, there is a 7-goal swing between Southampton's last 2 matches. 6-0 to Chelsea and then 1-0 over Arsenal. In a time when Chelsea was supposed to be struggling. Chelsea is going through unparalleled times right now
so
with...
I just looked up real quick. Tierney has a knee injury out for the season.
Oof.
Lacazette caught COVID. Tomiyasu, calf injury. Thomas Partey, muscle injury, should be back in May.
So,
And then Chelsea, though, they're missing out on Hudson-Odoi and Kovacic for this game.
That was your guys' biggest regret, not selling him to Bayern Munich.
Dude, for 50
Hudson-Odoi.
million?
Hudson-Odoi.
That guy, it was very good for you guys at one point, and then just...
Yeah,
like a
Callum
ghost.
is that the attitude he has about him too is something I don't like.
He could have been a baller. I feel like if he...
So
He
he
still
made a
can
move.
be. He's still young, dude.
Yeah, but like he has this attitude where he thinks because you play you have a good run of matches, a couple good matches, whatever. Bayern's interested, whatever, and you think you're an all-star all of a sudden. Like, calm yourself. And just keep doing the things that have made you successful. Keep working hard.
It was, but like,
It's-
there was something like a Charlie Musonda where I didn't understand why they left.
Love that man so much.
Yeah,
Such a
he
good
was
player.
such an amazing player. I mean, it's a
And
shame.
then,
what
and then you
people
guys
do.
also let go of Tariq Lamptey to Brighton.
Yeah, that was also pretty bad.
a lot of players. Well, now
If you guys had sold, I'm looking at this right now. If you guys had sold half the players you sold, your squad depth this season would have been nutty.
Yeah.
and even now,
Disgusting.
but even without them, our squad depth is still.
It's still good. I don't think it's amazing.
Well,
it's good.
we play with 3 center midfielders. At times, it's 2. But Jorginho, Conte, Kovacic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Saul, and even Reece James has been deployed in that area. But just those 5 in those midfield 3. Mason Mount sometimes plays in one of those midfield 3.
Yeah, but like someone like Ruben Loftus-Cheek has been.
Well, that's the thing. He starts at 75% of the clubs in the Prem. He did.
He starts at any lower half team.
Oof.
I could start him at Newcastle, honestly.
Yeah,
Him
lower
and,
half team.
Him and
a
Willock.
lower half team.
See, that's the thing. I don't know. Like I think
I'm
he
gonna say this right now. He does not start for West Ham. He does not start for United. He does not start for Wolves.
he doesn't start for Wolves.
I don't think he starts for Wolves. I don't think he starts for Wolves.
Ruben Neves and
Because they play
Jean Moutinho.
they play a midfield 2 of Moutinho and Neves. That's it. They don't play with the attacking mid.
I'd argue with that, but
I'm just saying
20
that's
clubs in the Prem, Loftus-Cheek starts for
Brighton. He starts.
12, 14 of them.
Leicester maybe. It just
Southampton,
depends.
he starts.
It all depends on Madison and Tielemans.
Southampton, he definitely starts.
Brentford guaranteed. Southampton guaranteed. Crystal Palace, I think he dreams of going back to. Newcastle guaranteed.
Any of those
Aston
teams
Villa
further down.
depends if they keep Coutinho.
Yeah, but also
Leeds,
that
he
that
starts.
youngster Ramsey's been doing amazing.
Everton, it depends if. I don't know. Everton, it depends if they stay in the Prem. There we
If
go.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek can start against Real Madrid away in the Champions League quarterfinals, you can't tell me
and
he
look
doesn't start for
garbage,
some of these other guys.
he starts in the bottom half. He looked like absolute garbage in that game.
If he looked garbage,
He should have not been starting for you guys.
Chelsea went up 3-0 with him on the pitch. That's the most ludicrous argument you can make. Chelsea went up 3-0 with Ruben Loftus-Cheek on the pitch.
That was Real Madrid sleeping and then coming back in the second half, dude.
What? No, not at all. Chelsea didn't put the game away. Chelsea puts the game away. Real Madrid didn't make a comeback in the second. They scored 1 goal in the second half. That was their comeback. They scored
that's the
1
comeback
goal.
they need, though.
But they scored 1 goal in the second half.
Yeah, but when they're playing on aggregate, that's the only comeback you need.
I understand, but people forget Chelsea still won that match and dominated that
Yes,
match.
and we agree. Like, we're not disagreeing
Ruben
with that
Loftus-Cheek
point.
started that match.
When he shouldn't have.
Over who?
Why?
Over Jorginho or
Why? I mean, the tactical reason behind Ruben Loftus-Cheek makes total sense.
You literally made the point on this show last week about how Ruben Loftus-Cheek should have not been in the starting lineup.
I wouldn't have started him, but it worked.
Somewhat.
It worked. The Timo Werner comes off. Remember, Chelsea still had a half dozen chances they could have put away to win that match in normal time.
So did Real Madrid. Both teams had chances, dude.
Chelsea had astronomically more chances than Real Madrid in that match. Chelsea dominated Madrid in that match. It was one of Chelsea's greatest matches they've ever played away. It was first time ever playing at the Santiago Bernabéu, by the way. And Chelsea was...
They were also the first team, I think, to record 3 goals, I think, against
against Real Madrid.
Any Spanish team, like, I think, ever. I don't think
away.
anybody's up that. Yeah.
Away. Like, people forget... Someone like a Christian Pulisic had the 2 chances in the last 5-10 minutes of the match to win it.
Yeah, Pulisic did. He was close.
You know, it's now once again. I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is the solution to the right wing back position. I just think it gives more credit to the mastermind that is Thomas Tuchel. I think he's phenomenal. That's the easiest way to put it.
He's a very good coach. Yeah,
he's exactly what Chelsea's needed and needs to keep.
Because he doesn't stand for any nonsense. He saw Jorginho, I think, one time he made a horrible pass and just immediately was on his tail.
Started yelling at him. It was great.
Screaming at him. I would have done the same. Like, what are you doing? You just came off of winning the Euros, and now you're all of a sudden you're just playing.
Can't play the simple balls out.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, that's the one thing I do love about Tuchel is the passion, when he's coaching and whatnot. I think he's just so much fun to watch coach.
Yeah.
He's like Jurgen Klopp, especially when Liverpool first started pulling results and stuff and they were still underdogs in a lot of games.
Bro, that 5-4 win against Norwich City, I think is one of the most exciting games you'll watch in a Premier League game by far.
Yeah, it is.
What about the one against Dortmund? I think it was the Europa League. Wasn't he coaching that team as well?
I believe so. Yeah. No, I think he
Lovren.
Now, guys, we have another game to predict. And it's Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace.
See, this one's tough for me because Crystal
Palace... It's hard to pick because in Crystal Palace, you have someone like an Olise making one of the best Premier League debuts from the Championship. You have a Conor Gallagher who's gone a little bit silent in the second half of the season, but still doing great. Mark Gahey in the back.
Eze,
Zaha.
So good.
Such an amazing player, honestly.
You also have Edouard at striker.
Edson Edouard, yeah.
Personally, I think Palace pulls the result 2-1.
I don't know. Like I said earlier, Newcastle just has this unity about them that they're in it for each other. Like they have like sort of this like fight mentality of like they need to stay up.
Yeah, there's one person that I feel so sorry to say this for, but Sam. Sam's a huge Crystal Palace supporter, but I'm gonna have to go Newcastle on this one.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I'm worried for Newcastle just because they're missing Fraser, Trippier, Jamal Lewis, Hayden, and Callum Wilson. All coming back in May.
I mean, first of all, talking about Sam, if Palace had pulled the result against Chelsea, I would have never heard the end of it on Monday at training. Shockingly, he went silent. But, yeah, I think... Watching Palace is a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
I think...
Patrick Vieira, I think he's done a great job.
Oh, tremendous. Yeah,
he's...
Like I said, they're just fun to watch.
Well, here's the thing. If you're Conor Gallagher, do you go back and make it into that Chelsea team? Because realistically, the player who you play the closest to, who's somewhat similar to your playing style, is Mason Mount. And he's not better than Mason Mount.
I don't know. I think I think what I see happen at Chelsea...
Well, he's not a creator, dude. If you looked at his past game, he only made 8 passes. He plays in the attacking third looking for a goal.
But what I would... Looking at if you ask me, he's Conor Gallagher is just a much more attack-minded Fabregas. That's my opinion on him. I think with Chelsea, I think Jorginho finally leaves this summer. Not that it doesn't say I'm happy for it. I think Jorginho's great. I love having him at Chelsea. Kovacic, I think, has been Chelsea's best player this season.
He's such a good player.
He's been outstanding.
He's a certified baller. BALR. Baller.
Dude, if Real Madrid didn't let him go, they would have starting midfield.
Yeah, but he was never going to start there.
Camavinga, Valverde, and Kovacic, that wins you a Champions League.
Dude, Kovacic is just like he's still so underrated. People don't realize you watch him play in a match.
Well, it's because of what happened to him at Real Madrid, which makes no sense, dude. Like Real Madrid were just stupid not to start him.
And that's coming from Inter, where at Inter Milan he was the best player in the league. He was the best player at Inter Milan.
Bro, him and Brozovic play as a midfield too. That's all Inter needed. God.
Like Kovacic and Conte stay. I think Saul goes back to Atleti. They're not going to re-sign him.
Thank God.
That should have never even happened to begin with.
I thought the idea behind it made sense.
It was a decent. It made sense.
For squad depth, I'm not going to argue. For cup games and whatnot,
squad depth, but a Saul, you think as a starter, as one of the best players on the pitch.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened to him in Chelsea. It's like as soon as you separate him and Diego Simeone, it's like he's a different player.
Yeah. I think he goes back to Atleti. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek, it might be time for him to go. And even if he doesn't, right, you're getting rid of Saul and Jorginho, opens up room for Gallagher and
if Loftus-Cheek wants to leave, I would sort of tease him to go back to Crystal Palace. Yeah, it'd be a great move because if Palace is going to try to throw money to keep Conor Gallagher, be like, hey, look, we can't give you Gallagher, but we can give you somebody who's performed for you in the past, who you guys loved and wanted to keep, and this is the
I think he goes to Everton if Everton stay up.
Yeah, but the Everton have Dele Alli. They bought him on a permanent.
Yeah, but Loftus-Cheek is that dominating presence in the midfield that Dele Alli would benefit from having him near him in the midfield. I think, and his relationship with Lampard, I think, does that. However, I'm not sure he does leave Chelsea. When you're bringing these other academy players back into the club, and Chelsea making this big push where they want to get all the academy players into the squad and whatnot.
Well, yeah, because now there's no certainty of whether or not they can buy someone anymore in the summer with what's going on with the ownership.
Having Loftus-Cheek as someone who can come in off the bench or play in these cup matches or play against the Norwiches, no offense to them, but having...
all the offense to them. They lost 3-2 to a United.
Fair enough.
And almost won the game, by the way, just to clarify.
Having Kovacic, Conte, Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, Gilmore as your 5 midfielders going into the season, I'm not complaining about that.
I would steal Billy Gilmore and somehow sneak in McTominay into your team. I'd be like, get
I've watched Gilmore ever since the Chelsea Football Club had a YouTube. I remember his daily little routine. I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube. He has like a little pillow and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I watched him do everything, and from there, I've always known about him.
No, he's Champions League start, man of the match. League start, man of the match.
Well, he technically has a Champions League medal, no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe he does.
So now he can go anywhere with his career, so long as he wins a Prem.
Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, all 3 starts.
All 3 men of the match.
All 3 man of the match awards.
All 3 debuts, I know.
Debut man of the match. Like, how ridiculous is that?
He's a class player. I don't know why Chelsea loaned him out. Personally.
That's the thing. Once again, he is someone who at his age just needs time.
Yeah, he needs.
Yeah, but he would have gotten so many minutes this season, though. For Chelsea, he really would have.
Looking at it now, where there were so many injuries to players, sure. But if Jorginho, Conte, Kovacic stay healthy, Gilmore, Gallagher probably don't get into the side.
But the issue is you also have players like Ross Barkley still in the team.
Yeah, well, I don't think he'll.
Honestly, but I'm saying
Everton's
right.
a good move for him too. Go back home.
I wouldn't go.
They hate him, but he's not going to.
No, but I just don't think he would be good enough. Honestly, send him back to Aston Villa, where he had his best spell since leaving Everton.
I think Aston Villa. I think he'd grab some more time at like a West Ham type of club or a Leicester City. I think those are the kind of clubs where I think he grabs some time. Even a rejuvenated Newcastle side.
Maybe.
See, I'd put him and Loftus-Cheek together at Newcastle, because if you play Willock as a cam and then Loftus-Cheek along.
Yeah, but how about Joelinton having this like renaissance of becoming a box-to-box midfielder?
Yeah.
I don't know how they just found out that he can all of a sudden defend.
Well, no, it's been. I get so annoyed when people talk about Joelinton. If you look at him when he played in Germany, he had everything that you could have seen. He is a hold-up striker who was able to drop back and defend, create chances from deep. It made total sense about how he could become a box-to-box midfielder. It really did. It's just everyone was blind to it because you had someone like Steve Bruce at the helm at Newcastle.
No comment on Newcastle, but I think he is someone like you said. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, so like
I think
right now their predicted midfield 3 is Bruno Guimaraes, which by the way,
Amazing.
what
That
a
header.
signing!
He
What
should
a
have been in the
signing,
Prem.
dude.
He should
How
have been
did
in the
they
Prem
get him
way
out of
earlier.
Lyon? How did they get a Champions League quality midfielder out of Lyon?
Okay, well he's not even he's not even the best midfielder at Newcastle. John Joe Shelby's an animal.
No, he's not. If there's one person who I hate at Newcastle,
Dude,
it's
John
John Joe
Shelby.
Shelby.
There might be no
He
one I
just
love.
annoys me.
John Joe Shelby is the.
I look at him.
He's
Looks
29.
Like, he looks like the Penguin.
Is he 29?
He's 29.
Yes, he's 29.
He's been around
He's
forever.
the same age as Sterling, and he looks like a 50-year-old man.
But
He
he's always
looks
looked
like the
that.
Penguin in the Batman comics, bro.
like-
But
He legit
listen,
looks like the Penguin.
John Joe Shelby is one of those players who will 1 second go in for a 2-footed tackle, studs up.
And then the next second have like a magical free kick out of
Yeah,
it.
and then he's pulling a screamer from 40 yards.
Yeah.
How do you not like?
What you're describing is Granit Xhaka as if he was English. That's what you're describing right now.
Yeah, but I like John Joe Shelby a lot
He's 30.
because like he'll do this crazy stuff, right? Just crazy, pull it out of thin air, and then like the next second he's getting sent off. He'll go from scoring a game winner to punching the ref or something, and he's sent off.
Yeah.
John Joe Shelby's an animal. Like,
Bro,
I love him so much.
I don't know. It's just next season we have to watch out for Newcastle.
Bruno
'Cause
Guimaraes, John Joe Shelby.
Bring in
Joe
someone like Bruno Guimaraes, and if you bring in a real striker, not Chris Wood,
Even fair enough to Chris Wood. I mean, he's
dude,
not
but
been
like,
bad for Burnley, to be honest.
but I'm just annoyed because like Burnley lose Chris Wood, get Wout Weghorst, who's been scoring even more goals than him.
Oh, Veghorst, man, that too. I don't know where
Dude,
they're
they got him
getting
for
these players.
$5 million
I don't
out
know
of Wolfsburg,
I don't know
bro.
where they're getting this.
Mans
like,
is
this is
6'6".
incredible.
6'6" looks more agile than Peter Crouch.
Shame to Wolfsburg, honestly. Shame, absolute shame to Wolfsburg.
Well, don't look at me like that. He is Wout Weghorst is more agile than Peter Crouch.
Peter Crouch is on my list of 10 people I'd want to have lunch with or like drink coffee with and have a chat
I'm not
with.
gonna
You tell
lie.
me when-
I,
you tell me
I
when
genuinely thought
Weghorst
you were
is a
just
bicycle
about to
kick.
say something else. I thought I'd used the dump button on you for a second.
No. Listen, Peter Crouchy is just
I know.
He's unreal.
I know.
Bicycle kick for Liverpool. Ah, man, I still
All
remember
right,
it to this
so let's review the 3 predictions we have for today. So, Everton, Leicester, I think it's gonna be 5-5.
day.
Chelsea, Arsenal, I think Chelsea nick a goal and win it. Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace.
It's tough. It's really tough.
I'm thinking Newcastle's gonna pull one over.
By the way, Artie's views are all his own. All right, I do not agree with any of these choices he's making.
Nope.
Really,
If you are on Matchweek, you agree with all my choices.
I didn't
You-
sign any
No,
paperwork.
yes, you did.
I'll tell my mom.
I just got here,
That's
man.
all right,
There's paperwork.
You know, and
Oh man. But
and
yeah, those are the 3 games today.
Those-
Big games. All play at the same time though. Why?
yeah.
Why?
That's
All
what
they
he's-
play at 2:45.
I have a FDU training session at 2:30.
Sam's not gonna be there.
I
He's gonna be. Oh, sorry, coach. I'm feeling sick today.
he'll be there. He has to run the fitness test. He'll be there. You know,
As soon as he does the fitness test, you know he's going straight to his phone to watch the Crystal Palace game. I would
Well, he's
know.
gonna be watching the phone and running at the same time.
he could barely just do one of those things, but he can't multitask like that. I'm sorry, Sam. As the show's nearing an end here, I do want to throw in a quick plug for FC Motown playing in the 3rd round of the U.S. Open Cup against professional side Rochester from New York.
That's
away.
crazy.
They went up yesterday, 5-6 hour ride out up there. You know, if they win this match, Red Bull Arena might be the next stop, which would be so cool. So cool. FC Motown full of these just professionals, you know, like Mike DeFont, who has experience. Mike DeFont played in that match against Chelsea for the New York Red Bulls. He fouled Eden Hazard. That's a career highlight.
That's a career highlight.
You know? But Gideon Bob, who also represented the New York Red Bulls, you know, there's a couple of former internationals. Dilly Duca's surely going to get an appearance in, who, you know, played next to Drogba at Montreal and he played at Columbus and Chicago. And, you know, there's some very, very good players. And the quality that Motown's going to bring for a team that's technically still an amateur side, a semi-pro side,
Yeah.
is going to be so much fun. ESPN Plus, 6 p.m. kickoff. I should be in training at that time. Not saying I'm going to be completely watching the game. I'll be listening on.
He's gonna sneak in an AirPod. Be listening to the game.
I'll have a beanie on. It's gonna be 60 degrees out today. I have a beanie on, so I can have my AirPod in. But no, that's a lie. I'm fully focused on my team training sessions when I'm coaching. As a disclaimer.
Yeah, when I'm assistant coaching, he doesn't pay attention, guys. Don't
No. Yeah, that's fine. Actually, I'm gonna see if any of the assistants want to come in today and run the session so I can watch Motown. But yeah, good luck to FC Motown. Our local side still in the U.S. Open Cup. Oldest competition in the United States. Good luck, guys.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you.
Well, we also have Red Bull 2 over here at the field, not even like less than 100
Oh, this is their home technically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm giving my shout out to FC Motown. That's not a Red Bull hoodie, is it? Yeah,
it is a Red Bull hoodie.
All right, so you can make the Red Bull shout out, but I'm not.
I'm wearing the Red Bull hoodie, the shorts, everything.
Go Red Bulls, even though you guys give me constant pain every single week.
Okay, we're gonna spend our last 2 minutes on this. New York Red Bulls, guys. Ugh.
I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. I can't sit there and watch
Still
Patrick
in third place,
Klimala
though.
miss constantly.
They are still third place.
Still in third in the
They're
East.
still in third place, but they still have yet to win at home.
I'm going to say it again. People are going to kill me for it. I have no problem with them bringing in someone who's about to retire, as long as it's a big name player that's going to fill the stadium.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think Ashley Fletcher is a good step
wonderful.
in the right
Yeah,
direction,
yeah.
but I don't think he's that player. Like, there's a reason why he left a Watford. To not be harsh. To not be harsh whatsoever. In a Watford side that's struggling to score goals, if your name is Emmanuel Dennis, there's sort of a reason why.
The match day experience at Red Bull Arena is phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
I
of course.
agree.
It's one of the best arenas you can go to in the state, bar LA Galaxy, I think, or maybe Atlanta United.
But it's a small stadium. You go into the
30,000 is
arena.
not that small though.
26,000 like that, but still, it's compare it to Chelsea's considered small at 55.
Yeah, but think about it though. At Red Bull Arena, any seat you have is an enjoyable seat to watch
Exactly.
the game. That's how well
And
structured
you could get it
that
at
arena
such a
is.
good price too. You could literally
Yeah.
sit behind the goal for like $20.
Yeah, because
or free if you know somebody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
well, yeah, your brother.
Excuse me, I don't know what you're talking about.
But I just think Red Bull
I might have a new plug.
Arena is fun and all, but I'd love to see it. Our local team, the stadium's packed. We look like the Etihad.
Oh my god.
We look like we're cities.
That's always empty.
Listen, I will never be prouder than being able to say on multiple occasions I got to watch Thierry Henry.
I'm about to say that's the
I
last
wasn't
time
able to,
I've
man.
ever.
I
That's the
regret
last
so
time
many
I've
life
ever seen
decisions.
that stadium filled to the top every time Thierry was playing.
There was a game where I got to watch Thierry Henry receive a ball from Rafa Marquez, and like you get to watch Tim Cahill do that corner flag. Like that's kind of stuff that
I know.
you kinda
I
live
could have
for.
watched Pirlo, Lampard, and David Villa.
But imagine like Sasha Klutchton, who isn't that massive of a legend, a phenomenal player, played for the national team, played in Europe.
Where is he at now?
Sasha Klutchton is in Cincinnati, I want to say.
Is he at the new
Or
expansion?
Nashville.
I
He
think
might be in
the new
Nashville.
expansion club, Nashville. No.
He's but like those being able to watch those players play,
Yeah.
Also, Roman Berkey.
it's
St. Louis,
oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh, that's right.
Huge
Oh my
signing.
god.
We have to talk MLS next week, man.
Yeah.
MLS. Yep. Guys, this is top of the hour WMSC Upper Montclair. And this is Matchweek.
Thanks for having us, Ardi.
Thanks, Artie.